Hola Colchoneros, welcome to Atleti Fanatics, and we are back after a long, long Christmas break. And with us today, there is Jorge, and we were just talking about he's the Fabrizio Romano for Atletico Madrileño. So thank you for joining us, Jorge.
No, thank
And
you to
to,
you.
and today, it's all going to be about the academy stuff. So we're going to talk about all the debuts under Diego Simeone era, and hopefully there can be more. The likes of Paulo Barrios, Giuliano, or if we go in the past like Saul or Lucas Hernandez. So before we start, yeah, Saint Keeks just woke up, by the way. So yeah, Saint Keeks, good morning, buongiorno. Uh, so we're gonna start off with Jorge. Jorge, anything for Atleti fans in this festival time?
Well, I thank you for having me with you. Really happy to be here with you talking about obviously Atlético Madrid and more the academy, something that I really like from some years ago. And thank you for your words for the Fabrizio Romano stuff. And I hope in 2026. We can have the Madrileño at second division, some debuts with Simeone. That is the main goal for every academy, and hope they can debut, develop, and maintain at the first team like Pablo Barrios and Giuliano are doing now. So really happy to be here and looking forward to talk about the all of the debuts with Simeone.
True, true. So let's just start with when Simeone took charge. That was in 2011-12. Okay, so again, Saul. We are like very familiar with that name, Saul. We all know like how it went with Saul, and then Saul is in Flamengo right now. Saul was in like much more in the Real Madrid comment section a lot after what he said about Flamengo and Real Madrid. Any thoughts about that, guys?
Yeah, well, Saul obviously is one of our best players in terms of the debutants. He was playing really a good at a really good level in the academy, and then when he started to play with the first team, we all remember those games in the Champions League against the Leverkusen, against Bayern, and the derby with Real Madrid, and every single game in La Liga or in Copa del Rey. Obviously, he ended his time at Atlético Madrid in a way that we would like to be better, with all the difference with the fan base, with all the not hate but critics, maybe in the social media were a little bit unfair with the players. Well, he's now playing at a good level in Brazil in a really competitive league, but it shows how important has been Saul. Is one of how it said uno de noi, one of our childhood. I'm really happy for Saul because he was really good in the academy. He had the opportunity to show his level. I'm happy to see him having so much celebrations, so much titles there in Flamengo, and I'm really happy. Well, it's one of the players that has most celebrations and most titles, and obviously his career has been really good. Obviously, his last years in Atletico weren't as good as we would think, with that loan at Chelsea and that critics with Simeone of his wasn't playing in his position, but he was obviously one of the seven bars of Atletico crest. So obviously happy for him, and obviously being him an academy player.
True. You know one interesting fact? Like whenever he scored a goal, we never lost a game.
I didn't knew that. So thank you for sharing it because it's really well. I didn't knew it got me surprised really.
No, that's true. Like, especially like I don't know, like when we played Liverpool, you guys remember that game where obviously Marcus Llorente came up on the show. Saul scored the goal in the first leg,
Mm.
and yeah, and then from there, like like the stats one comes out, and then like I saw it from there, and then after that, like it just went on. We never lost a game with Saul scoring in Atleti match. And especially like we all remember that 2016 superb goal against Bayern Munich from Saul, where he passed the current manager of Real Madrid and the current Barcelona kind of assistant manager Thiago as well. and that's a move. So yeah, that was a very very good one. But yeah, anything you guys want to add, Fran and Sinkeeks?
Well, I can add stuff from his time at Flamengo. He's Flamengo have the problem that they don't really have a really, they didn't have established midfield too, and Saul started some games and played really well, and it was surprising that he could manage the physical level of the Brazilian league, but he did quite well. He's not a starter right now because Eric Pulgar and Jorginho are really good, but yeah, he's been quite well. No, not bad at all. He won a lot of trophies, of course. So happy that he's doing well. Well, I just want to ask something.
Go on, go on.
Why did he? Uh, he was playing really well at Atletico. Why did he stop playing as well? Was it because his surgery, or what was it?
Because well, he said in an interview that he when he was younger he was enjoying football and just thinking about playing, and when he was getting older he was thinking more about um as a professional, like in every single day, like you have to train well, you have to take care of your of everything you eat, you drink, and he started to not enjoy football, to see that as more as a routine, that something he enjoys. And since then he was like taking care more of something that are not as relevant as we could think. And he said that that's the thing, because why he started to play worse. And then with all of the stuff of getting loan to Chelsea, having a bad time in Chelsea, not just him but his family, because they didn't adapt to the way of life of London. And then when it was told he was going to Turkey, like, what are you doing in Turkey apart from getting money? Because if you go to Turkey, it's like your career is almost done and you just want to earn your last big contract and to finish your career. Well, it's a little bit sad in that way, because he was one of the best in the world in his position. Obviously he is now doing good at a good team like is Flamengo, not in Turkey. Like nobody in, obviously in Turkey they watch the league, but nobody outside Turkey they watch the league, because it isn't a good league compared obviously to the Brasileirao. But at least he made a good decision, a decision of life, like he said. He want to have more time with his family. He wants to enjoy football, as I said before, and that's what I think about him playing worse.
Saul had like a one of like good comeback story as well. Like he had that injury against, I think it was Bayer Leverkusen, and then like, he came back from that injury, and then scoring that beautiful goal as well against Bayer Leverkusen. So Saul for me again, like like Jorge said, like uno de no is like always gonna be one of us, and it's sad like how it happened. Like like I really hope like like his move to Chelsea would actually be a good one where he can actually like show like what he is, because when he was playing for us like in 2015-16 he had a lot of offers from the Premier League, and then he never left. And then when he finally left, also Chelsea has a habit of ruining the careers of Atleti players. Just Diego Costa had a good time over there, Felipe Luis came back, and then Saul came back, and then I think other than Diego Costa, no one really performed that well in Chelsea.
Courtois.
But yeah, Courtois is, but again, he was on loan. Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
talk about rats. We don't talk about rats over here. So let's just move on.
Not alone.
Okay, the next one we have is Pedro. So now this is an interesting one, because Fran was saying like he had the most games as a like a debut player under Simeone, Pedro Martin,
the most
and
games out of the all of the players that played like one game and left.
true. So Fran, I think you have much more stats about him, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
let you have
I
the lead over here.
I just found the guy. Yeah, he played 5 games for us. Debuted in the 2011-12 season in in a Copa del Rey game. Played just 22 minutes, and then he played a game in LaLiga, 1 minute, the same season. But yeah, the following season he played in the Europa League. He played 3 games, and we'll see that there are a couple more players that played plenty in the Europa League that season. So Simeone gave some debuts that season. I don't remember if it was like Europa League group stage games or maybe Europa League qualification games. But yeah, just that he played then for some Spanish teams. We have Numancia, which is this team? Mirandés, Tenerife, Celta B, and well, then he went to India, like we talked about, and his last team was in Gibraltar, and now I think he's retired. San Chris was telling us that he's working in the Reus staff. Reus is a team from the lower divisions. So yeah, that's
So there you go, guys. Again, like I never knew like he was playing in India and Odisha FC as well. So yeah, that was something new as well. And now like I'm checking the academy thing. There is a few players who are actually playing in India right now, which I didn't know. But anyway, I'm gonna move next to in the next one because again in 11-12 there was only 2 debuts. There was Saul and Pedro Martin, and then 12-13 the next season it was Dani Aquino, and then again this guy had a few games with us, and then he was a second striker. And again I think like we loan a lot of our players to Numancia, like, and we also have that like like the preseason friendly against Numancia as well. And then again this guy played in Real Murcia, and then he was playing in Cyprus, and then Poland as well, and then back to Spain in lower divisions. And yeah, I think he's still playing. He's still playing for a lower division team in Spain. Anything guys have on him, Dani Aquino?
Yeah, Daniel Aquino, well, we play against him this last season with Atlético B at against Ceuta. Well, he came from Murcia. He's Murcia's academy player. He was really good at that time. He scored a bunch of goals with us. He had then moved to Racing Santander, to an historical club at Spain, and he scored maybe one of the most amount of goals in his career. But in Murcia, he has an issue that he's a player of Real Murcia, but he played in the other team of Murcia, that is UCAM Murcia, is from the university. It's a team that has no fans. It's like the team of the university that plays in the structure of the football, Spanish football structure, I mean. And sometimes he was saying bad things about his former club. Being an academy player, obviously, is not like Courtois, not like Hernandez, but in that way, and it's kind of sad. He played also, well, I said in Ceuta, in a team that is called the Mar Menor. And in Ceuta, last season, he had a good game time. He scored like 10 goals and got the promotion to second division in a really, really, really good team like that is Ceuta. And then from the second division, he moved to the fourth division, that is UCAM Murcia. He's not playing that much. He has like 900 minutes, but he scores like 5 goals or something like that. I have a I remember something good about him. He always score goals. He's a goal scorer. He has the instinct of a striker. And obviously in Spain, in this lower division, when we reach the transfer windows, is one of the names that when he's releasing with some teams is like, well, this team is going for all in this season. They want to promote, to be promoted, because he's a really good striker. And when he had the opportunity to demonstrate in some teams in the lower divisions, he really have good actuations, and obviously he scored goals. So I didn't remember sometimes that he was at Atletico, but we have to say that he's not an academy player, but he played for us in like 1 or 2 years in the B team.
I am seeing he he's quite the goal scorer. He scored a lot of goals at Racing
Yeah,
and in our academy as well. But he played one game for us in La Liga, and he assisted that game. Like he played
yeah,
1 minute and got one assist.
it's
And
quite
then
curious.
I was seeing that he played Champions League later for a team in Poland.
In
I
PS,
think
maybe.
yeah, it like might be the qualifiers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, obviously, obviously.
two games, to be fair.
But yeah, anyway, we move on to the next one, which is Oliver Torres. Now, Oliver Torres, I remember my only memory of Oliver Torres is that 2016 season, getting the number 10 and like playing with Antoine Griezmann. And that was like, he was very good. Like, he was a good technical player. And then I don't know why, like, we gave him away to Porto. And then from Porto, he went to Sevilla. From Sevilla, again, now he's in Monterrey in Mexico. So, again, your thoughts on Oliver Torres?
In the academy, he was like one of the best. The people was really looking forward to see him in the first team. When he played in the first team, he was good, maybe not brilliant, but good. And then when he got the move to Porto, and obviously in Sevilla, that I think is where he plays the very best football in his career. Some of the fans were saying like how he can be there in Sevilla, in Porto, and not in Athletic. Well, I think he was going good. He was going doing good about going to Porto, going to these teams. I was thinking about where he could end, and obviously one of my options were Mexico. And he's in Mexico. He's in a really good team that is in Monterrey, a little bit irregular. Um, we have Fran and I a good friend that is fanatic of Rayados, his current team, and he was going good, not brilliant. He scored a bunch of goals, even being a midfielder. Well, I thought he will he would have a better career, not just in Porto and Sevilla and these teams that are good, are really good, but maybe I thought he was going to a better club, on an elite club, or at least uh, being just in Atleti, maybe ending his career in a club like in Arabia or in this kind of countries. But well, another player that has a good career. The academy is not just for developing people for the first team, but also to have a good career in the first divisions, in the elite of football. And Oliver is one of these kind of examples.
True, true. Next, we move on to Javier Manquillo. Now, this one, now you guys won't believe it. Like, when I got to know about him, like, he was playing in Newcastle, and like, I got to know, like, oh, like, this guy was in Atleti. So, Manquillo, I think, like, he had a quite decent career outside of Atletico Madrid. From Atleti, he went to Liverpool, from Liverpool, Marseille, and then Sunderland, and then Newcastle, where I actually saw him, and then Celta Vigo, and now he is retired. And I think he retired like he was playing for Celta Vigo last season only. That's interesting because I didn't see much of him in La Liga last season. But yeah, thoughts on Manquillo?
Well, Manquillo in the academy was good, not brilliant as other players, but he was good. I was surprised when he had that game time with the first team. Maybe in that seasons, the opportunities were more, how can I say, easy, not because just level, but the older team in terms of comparing it to now. But at least he has a Oliver Torres. He has a decent career, not good but decent. Quite curious, he was at Sunderland and then spent the most of the time of his career in the rival Newcastle. But talking to some fans of Newcastle that I have friends there, they say he was a good player. He has the love of the fan base. Maybe he wasn't the best or the one of the best, but he was developing good. He delivered some good performances, and he has the love of the fan base. So if I was a footballer and I didn't have a lot of exits, good things in my career, at least I would like to be remembered as a good player and have the love of the fan base. And I think it's the thing he has in his career. Then he was at Celta, but he played a little bit, and his time at Celta was like as mine. How to say? He wasn't having that much game time, and it was like his career is almost done. He was earning a decent contract and just retiring at least in his country is good. Now having time, well, with his friends, with his family. But well, another player that has been established in the first divisions, in the elite. Maybe his football wasn't the best, but at least he had a good career, and he can say he played in the Atleti. Most of us can say that.
True, true. I mean, like even like for him, like I would say, like at that time, like Juan Fran was in his prime, so like it's not easy to replace Juan Fran from his position at that time.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, like he spent like I think 4 or 5 years at Newcastle, so that's I would say is pretty much a good time he had like after Atletico Madrid. But yeah, anything you wanna add, guys? Fran Sinkeeks?
No, I mean, this guy was in pretty much the best Atletico team I have ever watched. So he was a part of the squad, and that's something. But yeah, no, I don't remember much about him because, well, we had like one of the best right backs in our history as a starter at the time. So I really don't remember much. But yeah, I remember more of him at Newcastle than anything else.
Anyway, we move on to the next one. We have is Abdel Kader Uslatia. Like I don't know how to pronounce this the last name, but I mean this is very very rare actually. We like like a player from Tunisia actually playing for Atletico Madrid. So that's very very rare to see. So and now again, so this guy.
It's what this guy is what I was saying. Like that season, we gave a lot of players game time in the Europa League, and this guy played in that season in the Europa League. But I see he also played a game in LaLiga in the 12-13. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Like he played 2 games in the Europa League and 1 game in LaLiga. Of course, very low minutes, but yeah, it's nice to have a player from the Maghreb playing for us.
It's quite curious because he was playing. Well, he was playing for Juvenil, for the under-19s, for the C team, for the B team. He was loaned to Numancia, and when he came back from that loan, he went to Club Africain in Tunisia. He was loaned to Al Fateh in Saudi Arabia. Then he came back to Club Africain. Then Al Fateh bought him for like 200,000 euros. Then he was without team because his contract ended. He went back to Club Africain and now he's without team. But I see this one from Tunisia was his last team at the 2021-2022 season. So it has been like 3-4 seasons since his last team. So I think, or is he retired or he has been just enjoying life, maybe.
True, true. Like one thing, like I think, like did we give debut to Yasin Bonu?
I don't remember now, but I can check it.
But what's Yacine Bono like?
He
Was he
was in.
before Simeone?
No, he was in the academy. He was in the academy at time of.
He was in the academy,
Yes.
but he didn't play with no games with Atleti. Maybe he was called up from some games, but he had any game time. He just played with the B team a lot in the season 2012-2013 in the next season. But then anything else. He was to Zaragoza, Girona, Sevilla, and
Wait,
now Al Hilal. But he didn't play with first team of Atleti.
I am seeing that we didn't give really a chance to any goalkeeper apart from San Roman in the 2020-2021. So yeah.
And then there's
Interesting.
Remember, Police was like 2-3 years ago. He came in because of
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
Gradual.
I remember that one as well. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
he played
Yasin
as a
Bono.
striker.
No, well, that was the preseason, which
Yeah.
was very funny. But
Ah,
I talk about the is it the Villarreal game?
yeah, Gomes.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the Villarreal game, he got some minutes. He conceded a goal, sadly, and that goal, I think, it made us being like in the third position and not in the second, because I think Madrid maybe didn't win his game or something like that. But conceding that goal made us like in the third position, and it was like it had to be in this game, in the last game of the season,
yeah.
and to Gomes. I don't want it to have to pass to pass to Black, but maybe just in his first game with the first team officially and having this. Well, it was
Well,
a little bit sad, but at least he got the opportunity.
you know, Oblak's first game at Atleti was pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, obviously, yeah. I remember.
But yeah, guys, so like the 2013-14 season, there were no debuts from the academy. So yeah, that's why like I brought up Yasin Bono because I thought like like he would have get a chance somewhere, but like he did not. And there's one more interesting name I see from the 13-14 academy. There is Tiri. I don't know, Jorge. Do you remember Tiri?
No, I have to check the name because I don't remember, but I have
Uh,
to investigate about.
He's a defender. He's a defender.
Um,
So
I
I
I just remember that the 2013-14 season. Okay, we didn't give a chance to Bono, but I remember that the backup goalkeeper was Aranzubia,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
such
yeah,
a
yeah,
such a legend.
yeah. I don't know where he is now, but hello to him.
But yeah, like like since I mentioned Tiri, so again, so like he was in our academy. I didn't know this, and like this guy is a legend in Indian League.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a defender. This guy, just check his teams. This guy's been playing in India for at least like I don't know, like 10 years now. Yeah, look, Atletico Kolkata. There you go, Atletico de
Oh,
Kolkata
mhm.
How
from
do
16.
you write his name?
Tiri.
Ah, okay.
I think it's John. I don't know. I don't remember, but Tiri. So he went to Atletico de Kolkata, and then he was in Spain for Marbella FC, and then again Indian clubs. Like I said, like this guy is a legend in Indian League.
Ah, now he's playing in Mumbai.
Yeah, now he's playing in Mumbai, which is Mumbai City is again is a part of City Football Group.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, they have their hands everywhere. I do
Yeah,
remember. I remember reading an article. I think it was from San Chris, but he was talking about we have some kind of connection with India. Was it you
Yeah.
or somebody else? We have
Well,
some kind of
yeah.
connection with.
We used to have.
No,
We
we
still
still
have.
do.
We still have with Interkashi. Yeah, with Interkashi we still have. But Interkashi is like playing in second division of Indian football.
Aye, okay.
Yeah. So the first division is the Super League, Indian Super League, where again this guy Tiri is playing again. Like I said, like this guy is like a legend in Indian Super League. He has played like 10 seasons in this league. So
yeah.
yeah.
And
Anyway,
since 14-15, he's in India.
yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
I never knew like this guy is from Atlético Madrid Academy. But okay, next one we move to 2014-15, and again I think this one was the best. Like
Crop of
I would
players.
say, yeah, Lucas
Only
Hernandez
one.
again.
Yeah, Lucas Hernandez.
Lucas Hernandez again. So he had a very good time with Atlético de Madrid as well. What do you guys think? Like, did we make a mistake selling him to Bayern Munich? I mean, 70 million. Like, I can't really argue that much. But again, just look at the options after like left-footed centre backs after Lucas Hernandez we had.
It's not about a mistake. They paid his release clause. There wasn't really
Yeah.
a negotiation.
Yeah.
He just kind
Yeah,
of left.
true. No, but like we could have like offered him contract renewal or
Yeah, but
anything.
18 million for a centre back. You just kind of have to say, all right, I kind of wanted to keep you, but
Yeah.
go on your way, Doug. And
Yeah,
plus, he
but-
had a relatively bad injury history too, so it's just like, all right, well,
yeah, that the injury history, but I don't know if it's true, but I remember talks about him like faking injuries before leaving because he wanted to leave, something like that. I don't know if it's true, but I remember seeing that at the time.
I mean, considering his career since, I don't know if he's actually faking it. I think he was
Yeah,
for
yeah,
real
yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
He's
70
had what,
million
like
for a
three?
70 million for an injury-prone player is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's had like
Oh.
3
and
ACLs.
and it yeah, I think it was like Bayern had to like break the record for like a transfer fee in Bundesliga
Yeah.
for him.
No, he broke the transfer record for a defender, I think. Like
For
in
defender,
general.
right. So yeah, I mean that was, but
He did well for them. He got a Champions League. He got a,
A World Cup.
well, the World Cup was with us.
Yeah.
he
So,
he,
Yeah,
he,
but-
he he left after that. He left
Yeah,
after
he
that.
left after that, yeah.
Yeah, but
Bayern tend to buy players after big international tournaments.
this is like I have my criticism. Like, why don't you replace him? You got your 70 million. Why don't you replace him with something better? Like we got Hermoso after that, and then we got
How do you replace a very, very good player with 70 million? Like, we just wouldn't. That's just kind of unfortunate. Like, I love Omoso. Omoso's amazing for me in terms of his period of time here, right? Like, he's not the best defender by any means, but I enjoyed a lot of what he did and how much fun it was.
his
Okay.
character was very good. Hermoso's character was very good.
You know,
I really like that passion.
He had his mistakes, but in big games, you could really see his character, and he played really well in big games. So I have more good memories of him than bad. But
Except one, I remember Adama Traore killing him on that right hand side.
Oh, that was a terrible game, but we don't throw that.
No, wait, but I was thinking about Lucas Hernandez. Did he play mostly as a left center back for us, or was more as a left back? Because I remember lots of left back, and at the time we had Savage, Jimenez, and Godin. So
yeah, I remember him more as a left back.
Felipe Luis as well. We used to have Felipe Luis as well.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about our centre backs, but I think we just we did play him sometimes as centre back, but I think we mostly played him as a left back.
Yeah.
It just kind of explains why Deschamps decided to play him as a left back in time.
Yeah, in the World Cup, they played Pavard and Lucas Hernandez as fullbacks.
Mm. 2 centre backs as fullbacks is hilarious, and it worked out. But at the same time, you had all the options.
So I'll ask this, Jorge. Why didn't Theo Hernandez became successful with us, just like his brother?
I think he was just like infiltrated. Like he was a Madrid fan, and he was he wanted to just have a game time, and then in his first opportunity to go to Madrid, go there, and then the history is what it is. But it's like quite sad because why then you pass almost your entire career in the youth systems like here. Maybe because in Real Madrid they didn't accept you because of your stature, because of how you were playing. I don't know, but it's like if you are from Real Madrid, go to Real Madrid or another team. I know some players that were Madrid fans and were playing at Atleti, and I said, well, for me it's no problem. When you if you respect us, I mean, you have to know where you are and what institution are you playing for. Then you can do whatever you want. But if you are here playing, you have to play. You have to give your best, the 200%, and then we'll see. But at least like it's no sense. Well, his entire career maybe it's nonsense, but if you see what is told from him outside the football situation, it's like he used the head, but not his how to say his brain. He don't use his brain so much. So
wait, it's especially weird him going to Madrid because he spent his whole career at the academy. His brother spent his whole life at the academy, and his father played for Atletico. I don't know if you guys know, but the father of the Hernandez brothers played for us.
Really? I didn't know that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he played for us in the 2000-2001 season. So yeah, that's a nice fact for you guys.
Well, Theo, he was. I mean, his intelligence wasn't brilliant, but Lucas was quite the same. So, well, hope they have a good career, but obviously not here. So,
True, and like this season, like we were linked heavily with Theo Hernandez as well. Coming back to Atletico Madrid, so yeah, we had like 50-50 opinions on Atleti football Twitter. Some wanted him back, some were like, nah, we don't want him. But yeah, he ended up at Al Hilal. Anyway, we're moving on to the next one. So we go to Hector Hernandez
yeah,
again. So this guy again, he went from Atleti to Albacete, and then Malaga, and then Majadahonda, and then Fuenlabrada, and then Leonesa, and then oh, he went to Portugal as well to uh,
Chavez.
Chavez, yeah, and then Corinthians. Ah, you should know about this, Ron.
No, I used to love him when he was with us because his only game for us he scored a goal.
Yeah,
No, not his only game, but his first game for us he scored a goal. So I was so hyped about him. But yeah, he wasn't the best. But yeah, he pretty much he played very little. He plays very little at Corinthians. He's pretty much a third string player. But yeah, I don't know him much about Corinthians because he hasn't played at all.
mm. Kind of weird. Like he was doing good in the lower divisions of Spain. I remember him not just at Albacete, but the most recent one was Rayo Majadahonda. He's a team that plays
Yeah.
in the same stadium as they were playing Atlético Madrileño, and where they were the first team trains. So the stadium is exactly the same. He scored like maybe 15, 20 goals in that season with a
16.
16 in a good team, not decent team, not one of the best teams in the division, but he ended getting the playoff spot. They finally lost I think in the first round against, I don't know, it was Albacete or Celta. Well, it was one of these teams playing the playoff, and then he made the move to Portugal. That is quite often in this kind of players. I am not an expert, but I follow this kind of lower divisions, and most of the players that are developing well or have a good season, they went to Poland, they went to maybe not Italy because they don't pay as much as here, but in Poland and in Greece, Cyprus, and obviously Portugal, they play so much in terms of economic situation. First season that Xavi wasn't that good, but then in the next season he scored
Yeah.
like 14 goals or something like
14
that.
goals, yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I remember him like a really good scorer because what Fran said in that game against San Andreu in the Copa del Rey, he had game time and he scored a goal. We were losing like 1-0 in the second leg of that tie, and he scored. And when he had the game time with the second team, he was a good goal scorer. And when we see the move to Corinthians, it's like maybe they pay you like three way better than they did in Spain and in Portugal, but it was a quite strange move. And obviously, if you go to Brazil and you don't play, it's like there's something that isn't going well. But at least it's a good team. It's Corinthians. They have won the Copa de Brazil in the last weeks. So good for him. But if he played and he could score goals, better, no?
Yeah, but
I hope.
in Corinthians, but in the Brazilian league, the amount of games that the players play are huge. Like at
Yeah,
the start of the year, you have the state championship, and the state championship coincides with the start of the international tournaments like the Libertadores and Sudamericana, and then you have the league. That the league starts later, so they have to squeeze games because they couldn't start before because have the state championships. So if you don't play in the Brazilian league, there's something about you because with the amount of games, you need a big squad, and most players play even if they are not the best.
yeah,
I hope I hope he tries to convince Bernard Bidon to join us in Atleti.
Yeah, we all can hope. Anyway, we move on to the next one. So we have is Carlos Ramos, and then again this guy was with us at the academy, and then he moved to Guayuelo and then
Yeah.
Burgos. Burgos always like like it makes me remind of Mono Burgos we used to have that guy in the bench. But anyway, we had then Pontevedra and then Zamora and then oh he was at Baleares as well, which the team we recently played, and then Logrones and then again back to Zamora. I think he's playing in Zamora right now.
Yeah, yeah, he's playing now in Zamora. I follow the division. It's called Primera Federación. And he's playing. He's having a good game time. Fair to say, the previous coach, that is Juan Sabat, that is a legend of Atlético Madrid, was kicked out because they have a really really good squad, and they moved really well in the summer window, transfer window, but they aren't performing as well as we would think. And now with the new coach, he's playing also. He has like 3 assists in the time he played, and I don't want to say he's one of the best in in his position in the league, but he's a really quite decent player, a really known player in the third division of Spanish football. Well, at least he's having a good career in these lower divisions. That maybe the guys that they will watch this, maybe they can think they are divisions that the football is really poor, but the competitiveness and the difficulty of the league is really 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 strong. There are really good teams. Zamora is one of them. If you watch his career, he played in really good teams. So if I were him, I would be proud of my career, obviously.
Interesting. Next, we move on to another African player, which is a rarity, by the way. That's why I keep saying. Sekou Keita. I don't know if you remember this. Sekou Keita.
I remember
So
him, but looking at his career, because I lost I mean, I didn't remember him like, oh, you really existed. You were with us. I was looking at his career, like he played almost in the lower divisions of France, in the League Two, and the lower divisions in this kind of leagues. He played in Luxembourg, in Georgia, in a team that I don't know how to spell. I
uh,
think
uh,
in
yeah,
Serbia,
Dynamo
in
Tbilisi, and then
Vojvodina.
yeah, was the walk, yeah, and then he's without a club right now.
Yeah, his last team was a lower division team in France. Like, well, another guy that has the opportunity here just once, and then he made the move to another team to have a game time, but in a lower division. So, another guy that he's almost playing football. I would like to have a career where I could play football. So good for him, but he didn't have so much things to say they are brilliant. Maybe.
True. We move on to the next one. We have is Ivan Perez, and
Yeah.
then so Ivan Perez again played for lower division teams in Spain, from Lorca Deportiva, Yeclano, Sanse, Real Murcia,
Mm,
Sanse again. But he also went to Atletico Ottawa in Canada.
mm.
Interesting. And then Sanse, and then again Atletico Ottawa, Mar Menor, and then again Yeclano or Yeslano. I don't know how you pronounce it. And
Yeah,
now he's
claro, yeah,
playing.
claro, yeah.
Yeah, and now he's playing in Zurich City, the second division team in Swiss football. So he's still playing. Interesting. Do you guys remember him?
Not that
No.
much really. So it can we can with this we can say how his career has been developing. So well, another guy that played with us and then made the move to a lower division team, and has maybe a decent career because he played in Jeclano, in Sanse. Sanse is really a good team in the lower divisions. Now he's in the fourth division, but they used to play in the third division, and obviously not just playing in that division, but making the approach to the second, like always been like almost there. But well, if he's playing football and earning money with it, well, happy for him, I guess.
I love Sanse. I had a football manager career mode, so now I love the club. And and it's nice because there are also a couple of players that played for Sanse that we're
Yeah.
going to see later.
Hmm,
But yeah, nice
interesting.
club.
Okay, all right. Next, we move on to the next season, that is 2015-16. And so, again, another good career from Atletico Madrid, Thomas Partey. Now, how it ended, we can debate about it later on, like how it ended. But
Yeah.
at the start, like it was an amazing career. Thomas Partey, I think, like he had a very good time at Atletico de Madrid, and remember that game against Liverpool, like where he handled that pressure very well as a number five.
Yeah.
And Thomas Partey for us, like that season was very very good. And then obviously Arsenal paid his release clause, and then we were just left hanging, and then we had to get permission from La Liga to get
Kondogbia.
Kondogbia. Yeah. So
You know,
Lucas and Lucas Torreira at the
Yeah.
same time.
yeah, that's one. But Thomas Partey was a strange one because I remember that he was quite irregular. Like he used to play an insane game, and then like five not so good ones, and then an insane game again. And it was like that constantly. And that's the main thing I remember. And his best season for us, which is the one before he left. I didn't think of him as a extremely good player, but more of a something like more irregular, as I say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
He was always somebody I thought we kind of needed to improve on in terms of if he was to be sold. I was like, not that I was like at the time I was like, yeah, we need to sell Partey, but it's more like if you can get a really good DM,
no, but
you could
it's nice that you have like as a backup he was really strong, and it's good that you got that backup from the academy. So
Mhm.
for me, I wouldn't have improved on him because as a backup, I don't believe in improving backups, but
I think it was just more so because of the fact that Rodri had already left, I think a year
yeah,
prior. And it was just like you saw the difference, and it was just like, all right, well, this isn't really working out for what I thought it was gonna be. So just like the whole situation kind of changed afterwards. And then he had a lot of things happen in England, let's say that. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it that we can talk about with Thomas Partey without this podcast getting weird. So,
but I remember that there was a time where when the Saul dropped in form, and
Mhm.
Saul was playing regularly as in the midfield too with Koke, and I didn't like that a lot. So I was more asking about for Partey to play because he looked a bit better in the midfield too than Saul, and yeah, especially with Rodri leaving.
True. Anyway, moving on to the next one. So we have Nacho Monsalve. Now, again, I don't remember much of him. So, again, he went from Atleti to Rayo Vallecano, and then the lower division of Spain, Huelva, and then back to Vallecano. And then he had a career in Dutch league as well with Twente, and then Breda. And then I think this one is in Sofia, and then Poland, and then back to Spain. And now I think he's still playing for Hercules.
Yeah. Well, about Nacho Monsalve, he played some games with the first team. I remember him in an interview with a podcast called Offsiders that I recommended so strongly because he talked about how was the precisions with Simeone, and you can imagine what he said. No, Simeone a really really good manager in terms of intensity, in terms of football. For him, there are no friendlies. Every single game you have to win, and he was talking about some curiosity stories about something he lived in that pre-seasons, and now he's in Hercules in the third division of Spanish football with a good team, a decent team, looking to play the promotion to the play promotion playoff to the second division. He was last season in Eldense, I think. I remember, and I remember also the journey in Poland and in the Dutch league because what he said in the interview. And well, at least he was in Rayo, so he was playing in good teams. Now he's been playing good better said, having good performances in the lower divisions. And well, he's not the best player in his position or one player that you say when you have to go to the transfer window, you think of him. But it's like an opportunity that if it presents you, you have to grab it, and that's what Hercules did. They signed him from Netherlands last year in the second division, so well, at least he's performing well in this lower divisions. Second division and third division for me are one of the best in Europe. So happy for him, and obviously I remember that interview. I recommend it because he says a lot of things about his game time and his period in Atletico that is really interesting.
I am seeing that he played for Twente, and that's really good. But he played for Twente in the second division, and then for Breda as well in the second division of Dutch football.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Next, we move on to next season. That is the 16-17 season. So we're gonna start off with KD Bare, and then again, this guy's from Albania. Again, I don't remember much of him. So he went from Atleti to Malaga, and then from Malaga to Espanyol, and I think now he's playing for Zaragoza.
Well, Kedi Bare is one of the best of the academy, not in terms of quality, but he established himself in good teams like in
Yeah.
La Liga and second division.
He was in Malaga. He grabbed the promotion to La Liga with Espanyol. He was one of the best in his position. Now he's in Zaragoza. Obviously, Zaragoza is a team kind of irregular with
He was managed by Gavi.
Yeah, he was managed by Gavi and with a lot of managers because the situation in Zaragoza is like a little bit strange with the property, with the club in terms of sport. How to say results. And well, when he arrived to Zaragoza, he was performing bad. He wasn't performing as he did at Malaga and this kind of teams. I remember him at Espanyol was having a lot of game time and was one of the best in his position, if not the best. That's why Zaragoza signed him. And I remember him in Atlético Madrid, like, you are from Albania, like don't have a lot of players coming from this kind of country, so it's I'm happy for him because almost he's playing in the second division as limit, but at least he's playing good now with the Ruben Seyes. And well, one of these players that you say maybe he didn't reach the elite football, but at least he, as you said, Fran, he established himself as one of the best in his position in their leagues, in the second division, in the first division sometimes. So well, happy for him because it's one of that players that you say you didn't reach the elite, but at least you established in a good career.
Yeah, like most of the players we're seeing played more in the fourth or third division, but this is a guy that established himself in the second and first division and really well at a really
And
good
playing
level.
with the national team also, I think.
Huh?
And
Okay.
he played in the Albanian national team, I think, sometimes.
You know,
Really, that's nice.
We're going to see from the next players that that season of the youth league, I followed it quite a lot. So I remember these players playing in the youth league, and I remember KD Bare was quite good that season.
Yeah.
Anyway, we move on to the next one. We have is Juan Moreno,
Okay.
and
I love this guy. I used to
Really?
love this guy, Juanito. Like that season of the youth league was incredible. I don't know.
I don't remember him at all actually. Like now, like I'm just looking at his profile. Like he was playing in lower divisions in Italy, and like these teams like playing like fifth and sixth division.
Yeah, well, that season of the youth league, we had KD Bare playing in midfield, Juanito Moreno playing as a winger, and Caio Enrique, that we're going to see later, playing as a 10. And yeah, Juanito was really good. He scored 4 goals that season of the Youth League. And I thought he was going to do quite well for us, but well, he never did. And ended up leaving for smaller clubs. But and Chris, maybe you can tell us something.
Well, he played in Cartagena. He played in the second team of Betis, but I think he played. Well, I have it here in Fuenlabrada C. It's like the
Wait.
third team of Fuenlabrada. In
which is the Betis B team?
It's called Betis Deportivo, and Betis Deportivo in this season they are doing quite bad. But the last season they were promoted to the third division and was almost one of the best in the first half of the season. But they had a really bad streak of results and got almost relegated. But Betis has always a really good academic structure. They are always developing a good talent, and if you go to the academy of Betis, maybe you aren't as bad as you could think. So well, in Cartagena, I didn't remember him that much, and then he played for some teams of Andorra and the lower divisions of Italy. I was looking now, well, not that much, but curious.
Next we have Gustavo Enrique. Now this one, like like when he was playing at Monaco, like I was like, wow, like we had this player in our grabs. But anyway, so like he started with the Madrileño, and then he went to Fluminense, and then Gremio, and then he went to Monaco. So I think Fran, he watches the Brazilian Serie A a lot. So Fran can tell us more about him.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, he started for us in the academy. He was a 10. He was an attacking midfielder, and then when he went to Brazilian football, he was reconverted into a left back, and he was really good, especially at Gremio. He was really good at Gremio. So yeah, no, he was a 10 for us in the academy. He had a good time, obviously. But well, he played. Simeone gave him a chance, but never established himself, which would have been nice to have with him because we had some seasons with really bad left backs after Felipe Luis. But yeah, no, he was reconverted as a left back in Brazil and then moved to Monaco. Well, he did really well in Monaco. I remember there was a season where he was the best left back in Ligue 1. I think it was 2022, 2023. But yeah, it's a player which would have been good for us because we had some seasons with bad left backs. But well, really good player.
Yeah, I agree totally.
He's still playing in Monaco, by the way. He's still playing in Monaco. So that's interesting. But anyway, moving on to the next one we have is Roberto Olabe. And Roberto Olabe, again, he went from Madrileño to Eibar, then Albacete, and then Extremadura, and then Tondela, and then Arcoson. I don't know if that's right. And then Deportivo La Coruna, and then Ibiza.
Yeah, he's now in Ibiza. Well, kind similar with KD Barry, but not at his level in terms of football, because he had a really good career in terms of teams in the second division. He was at Extremadura. It wasn't a really good team, but it was decent. He was at Eibar. Eibar has been one of the best teams in that way. Even though knowing that Eibar is in one of the teams with the most money in our country, and now in Ibiza he's playing. Sometimes he's not having his best level at his career, but well, at least he played in good teams, so in the lower divisions, and good for him, I guess.
Right now, he's playing in Azerbaijan League, and this guy has scored 3 goals and 3 assists in 14 appearances. Interesting.
What? How do you move from the second division to not second? I think Ibiza got relegated to third division not too long ago. It's like, how do you move from here to Azerbaijan? Like, where's the connection exactly?
I I have no idea. Maybe he had a good agent. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Suppose.
Mostly it's kind of this.
Anyway, next we have is Nunes. Again, I don't remember him much. Maybe Fran and Jorge can help us with it.
Yeah, I remember him because he was one of our best strikers in the youth league. He was.
Yeah.
I know if he's almost the goal score, the most goals. The well, I have to say good. The striker with the most goals scored in the history of the youth league for Atletico. He was like half and a half with Adrian Nino that we're going to talk later. But his career hasn't been well, maybe decent because he was at Royal Antwerp in the Belgian league in the Jupiler Pro League. Then he went to the second team of Las Palmas, and then he was playing in the lower divisions of Spain in Águilas in Torrellano. Is from Alicante, and then he has a period with Móstoles, a team from Madrid, from the fourth now fifth division in the AEPRAT, another team from Catalonia, and now he is in the worst team of the fifth division in Madrid. It's a really bad team, really poor team. He played 9 games, scored 0 goals, so he made the same goals as me. But that team is really bad. The second well, how to can I say the C team or like the third team of Atletico plays in the same league as Racing Madrid, and they scored him. They scored to that team like 6 goals, so they won 2-6 in his stadium. So it's a really poor team, and it's like if you had made history in our academy in the youth league, that is a really important competition. Why then had that career? Is like a little bit sad because these kinds of players that shine and develop well under us, then not always they can develop outside Atleti, and it's like I would like him to have a better career because you see the teams and they are poor teams, to be fair.
Yeah, he was in the youth league team that had Kai Enrique, Juanito Moreno, Vare. He was in that team and he was really good. He scored 9 goals in 7 games that season, so
Hmm.
really good.
Anyway, we move on to the next season now. So we move on to 2017 and 18. So now the first debut was given to Tony Moya. Now Tony Moya, like I don't know if most of the guys remember, like he used to play for Alaves, and then from Alaves, like he also played against under Gavi, Real Zaragoza, and I think he's at Real Zaragoza at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Y-
another
Yeah,
player, like I think, like who had a good career in the second division or and the first flight football, if you wanna say.
yeah, and like he was really good at the academy. I remember him in the B team that scored a bunch of goals from the long distance. He's better. How to say? Uh, if you ask me how he plays, it's like he's a really good midfielder, but his best thing in his style of career of play is grabbing the ball like from 50 yards and just shoot and score. He is scored some of his goals like that in Alaves. I remember one against Malaga when Alaves won that game. Malaga was relegated to the third division, and Alaves. I don't remember if they grabbed the direct promotion or they grabbed the spot at the promotion playoffs that played later against Girona, maybe no Levante in that season, and then in Zaragoza, well, he couldn't perform as well as at Atleti at Alaves. Well, in Alaves, I think he played in the first division. I was thinking about so for him really good. And in Zaragoza, he has been playing, but not at that good level. He scored some goals that you see that, and it's like that player that he scored not that much goals, but almost then his entire goals are like a great goals. There are no normal goals, no worried goals or bad goals. They are always like in how to say Fran, ¿cómo se dice escuadra?
I don't know. No
Ay,
sé. Yeah, in
Squadra or like what?
It's like in the
the,
goal,
the
the
goal,
upper
the
side,
part,
in
yes,
the
Top
20V?
corner.
corner,
yeah,
The
Yeah,
like
view?
in
top
the top
corner.
corner.
Top
All of
corner.
their
Top
goals
corner.
are like from 60
Okay.
yards, 60 meters distance. Really, really powerful strike, and in the to the top corner, always like that. If you search some goals of him, I remember one of him against Levante. At it was like I don't know 40 or 50 meters from distance. He scored a really really good goal. The problem is that in that game they lost like 5-1 or something like that. So, but he having at least a game time in Zaragoza. Looking forward if he can reach his best level in second division, and hopefully if he's not promoted Zaragoza, at least he could be promoted individually to a better team in the first division, because I think he has the level to play. Even being in a bad team in the first division, he could play in the first division. So I hope he can reach it again. And I always like Tony Moya because of that. It was like not my favorite, but one of my favorite, obviously in that seasons in Atlético Madrileño.
Interesting. I mean, Jorge got so excited, like he banged. I don't know what he banged. What did he bang, Jorge? Like the mic?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway, we move on to the next one. We have is Carlos Isaac, and this guy is playing in Cordoba right now. And
Mm.
then again, another good career, I think, in the second division with Deportivo Alaves, Albacete, and then Real Oviedo, and then Portuguese league as well, Vizela, and then now he's in Cordoba. So again, I don't have much information about him. Maybe you guys can shed a light on him.
Well, I remember him playing friendly with Atletico in Mexico against, I don't know if it was Chivas or maybe San Luis. I think it was San Luis, our other team, or our team in Mexico. Maybe he assisted Camello, that we're going to talk about him later. I remember he could play in the right, he could play in the left as a left back and right back. At least he has a decent career in terms of teams he has played for. Now he's playing in Cordoba. I think Cordoba is one of the best teams in terms of squad, depth squad. Technically, individually, the players are really good. And for me, Ivan Ania is the coach, and is one of the best coach of the second division. At least he played in really good teams. You said Albacete, Deportivo La Coruña, Deportivo Alavés, Cordoba. Now, for me, Cordoba is one of the best in the division. So, well, at least he couldn't play with us, but he could play in a really good league in Spain. Is one of the players that you say, well, maybe it's not my favorite one, but it's a player that could develop and deliver good games, decent games, and could be regular in his terms of how he plays. So good.
Okay, we move on to the next one. We have is Antonio Montoro, and then again, we see him in the lower divisions in Spain. Went from Madrileño to Deportivo Alaves second team, and then Naval Carnero, and then I think Granada second team, right? That's the Granada second team, right? And then Inter de Madrid. Okay, Inter de Madrid. Okay, I have never heard about this club.
Yes, well, now sadly is Real Madrid C. Real Madrid bought that team. Well, the spot in the league. That team was Internacional Madrid or something like that, and they bought the spot. So Real Madrid can have like us a C team, a third team. And I didn't remember he was playing there, but I have something interesting about him. Now he's playing for Pontevedra in the third division. Last season was at Hércules, but the division what I was telling before is called Primera Federación, but before that, in the pandemic, it was called like Segunda B. It was the third division, but with other name, and with this name of the league, he is one of the two players with the most games played in the division. He has like 150 almost or something like that. He's a good player, not a brilliant one, but a good defender. Now playing in Pontevedra, a team that that has been promoted from the fourth division last season, having a lot of game time, playing good. Well, being one of the players that has played the most games in the division and being from the Atleti Academy is like, well, maybe it's not something that I can go to Neptuno to celebrate, but it's a really a good thing to say and to celebrate. So happy for him because I used to watch the almost the all the games in the category in the division, and he's performing well. So happy for him at least.
All right. Next one, we move to Aruna Sane. And then again, Aruna Sane is from Senegal. And again, I don't remember much of him. So again, from the academy, he went to Croatia with NK Istra, and then back to Spain with Langreo, and then Alondras, and then Viveiro, and then Sariana. Now he's playing for Sariana, or like.
Yes, playing for Sariana. Well, I to be fair, I had to to search for him because I didn't remember his name and where he's been playing. Sariana is in the fourth division. They were promoted from the fifth division, and it's a team from Galicia, like in the northwest of Spain. Well, I see he scored 2 goals, so good for him in the league. It's a team, as I said, promoted from the fifth division. But if you see the career, it's like a little bit strange because he went to Croatia, maybe because of his agent. He scored just 1 goal, but at least he played some goals, some games. Then he came back to Spain to one of the lower division teams for Langreo, is near Galicia in Asturias, and then Alondras Viveiro is from Galicia, and then they moved to Sariana like 3 seasons ago, and now in the fourth division. Well, I I couldn't say a lot of him because I don't remember that much his journey in Atletico, but at least he has a really interesting career, I guess, and hoping him to stay in the fourth division because even being in the fourth division is a really tough category in Spain. So at least I want him to perform as good as he can. Well, at least he's in Spain, not in this kind of strange countries in like Azerbaijan and that stuff.
Next one, we move to Sergi Gonzalez, and Sergi Gonzalez again. He had like almost like same career as Sane. He also went to Croatia with the same team, and then after that, like he went to the Deportivo Alaves second team, and then Sanse again. Fran was mentioning Sanse. We're gonna see some players, and then he was playing in Bergantinos, and then now he's playing for Racing Madrid.
Yeah,
And
quite curious
he also went to Armenia. Yeah, interesting.
yeah, he went also to Racing Madrid as Roberto Núñez that we told before. They are in the same team, so it's quite interesting. But what I'm seeing, he's playing some games, but well, he's one of the worst teams in the league. He played in good teams like the second team for Alaves. Istra is known about his academy. Sanse, we told before, is a good team. Bergantiños is a known, not a good team, but a known team in these lower divisions, playing for the fourth, fifth division, almost. Well, now in Madrid, I guess he wants to play in his natal city, and well, he's one of the worst teams in the fifth division. So I hope him to at least stay to start winning games, not against us, but at least to play a lot of games and what. Kind of a strange career because we are going to see later with Borja Garcés. He was playing almost in Spain and then he went to the third division of Croatia. So kind of strange decisions. But well, another one of our academy that plays in Spain and this kind of lower leagues.